Hey MVPs, Rico Knows here. In this video, I'm going to talk about prize picks. So these are indirectly talking about prop bets, if you will. You can apply this information to any prop bets that you want to make for the games as well. But I'm going to specifically be talking about prize picks, the website or the app. And I'm going to try to give you guys the best bets for tonight. First and foremost, there are 3 football games tonight. Georgia State at UConn, South Florida at Florida Atlantic, San Diego State at Boise State. I already did a video on all 3 of these games. I highly recommend you watch the video all the way through. Learn as much as you can about the players, the, matchups, and how I think they're going to perform tonight. But one thing you have to remember is when you're trying to bet on prize picks, you got to go with what you think is the most consistent. So if you go to, I never like to go to Popular, by the way. Popular is a terrible place to try to make your money on prize picks. If Popular was a good place to make your money, prize picks wouldn't be as profitable as they are, right? They wouldn't be as rich as they are. I understand that prize picks is about parlays. I highly recommend you get in the habit of only doing 2 legs on prize picks. Seriously, 2 legs. Try to get 2 things right, flip your unit, and call it a day. I see a lot of people trying to hit 6 legs, turning 20 into $300, something to that effect. I don't recommend it. If you can consistently do that, then prize picks wouldn't exist, right? They do exist, and they're growing, and they're paying everybody because they have such extra money from all the idiots doing all these parlays. So let's try to find our advantage in here, and let's talk about it. When we go to passing yards, first you see Zach Gibson here. Zach Gibson has thrown for 190-something yards, I think 193 the last 2 games in a row. Zach Gibson barely gets over this number on the final play of every game. I don't necessarily know if I want to go there. Okay, they're also playing against UConn, who's a run-heavy team. Yes, UConn might be in the lead, but they're going to keep the ball for long periods of time, and you might not get a chance to throw for 190-something yards or go over the 187. Another thing is Zach Gibson is a new starting quarterback. Yes, he started games while at Georgia Tech. Yes, he's played a lot of college football, but he doesn't have timing down with all these receivers at Georgia State. And when you don't have it with all these receivers, you're looking at a guy like Hurst, who's probably good for 70 yards. I don't know about anybody. Fleming is probably good. This is the tight end. Probably good for another 40, 50 yards. When you hear 70 and 40, that's 110. Where are you getting those 70 additional receiving yards needed? Are these running back screens to Freddie Brock and others? I don't know, but I can tell you this, it doesn't feel right for me. So I'm going to leave it alone at the 187. I think the under's in play there, but I'd hate for me to say the under and he goes ham because they're trailing in the game and they need to catch up. I just think there's better places to put your money, but the under feels real. Less feels real here. On the other side, Nick Evers. If this guy sucks tonight, he's getting benched and they're going to bring in Fagnano. Even at his best, I don't think Nick Evers can throw for over 150 yards. I hate Nick Evers as a quarterback throwing the ball. It's terrible, okay? But he does have amazing wide receivers that could go ham with the yak. Now, I think most of the receivers are probably good for 40 yards. You see 2 of his receivers here, and I'm on the less on them. I'm on the less with Skylar Bell, less with Josiah Gathings, and this is a scary concept because both of those guys can go ham and get 100 yards. So they could steer you wrong all day long. And the only reason that this really scares me is Nick Evers gets benched and then Fagnano comes in and these guys get their over at that point because the backup quarterback at UConn is going to throw to them. He's throwing all day. So for me, I probably wouldn't even try to get both of these right. I feel like I could take Gathings off. He's been hitting his stride these last couple of weeks. And I feel like Skylar Bell's probably a better bet by himself. But you get scared that if they were to bring in another quarterback, he's going to hit the over. So what you do is you take Nick Evers less. And you hope he gets benched. You hope he just hands off the ball and Nick Evers doesn't go out there and start slicing and dicing. First and foremost, slicing and dicing is not in his repertoire. So that's where I'm at on that. Cam Fancher, 210. That feels like a big number for Cam Fancher. It really does. He runs a lot. 210 feels like a big number for him, especially against that really good defense at South Florida. I like his less than as well. You could probably parlay those 2 and leave it at that and not really go any deeper. Wouldn't bet on Maddox Madsen at all. Danny O'Neal not doing it, although I understand if you like his less. If you like his less, I get it, but they're going to be trailing. They might be throwing the whole damn game. That's where we're at on the quarterbacks. Receiving yards. Dorian Fleming, I believe he's on an over 33.5. He gets a lot of short passes and takes them over a certain amount. He's probably good for 40 yards tonight. So it's a possibility he's over 33.5. Definitely 24.5. I didn't even see that. Skylar Bell. I'm on his under. And it's scary. I'm on all the unders for UConn receivers because Nick Evers is the quarterback. All of them. Now, somebody's going to hit, so you can't parlay it all. But I just think you should choose wisely. On the other side, Ted Hurst, he's probably over. I think he's at 70 yards. He's probably, and I know I say that. Let me see what we get. 44.5? Ugh, don't do that. So don't go Green Goblin for 44.5. It's not worth it. It's not enough discount. Just take it straight across like this and take the over and just hope for the best if you're going to take Ted Hurst. But I'm on the under here. Sean Atkins. I would love to pick Sean Atkins on his over. 44. That looks like a great number for him. He can get a ton of yards. If Byron Brown's going to be the quarterback tonight. We don't know. So think you have no business betting on that game because we don't know if they're even going to let him play. If Bryce Archie's the quarterback, you cannot pick Sean Atkins. I'm sorry. They're not throwing it to him. Ashton Jeanty getting 13.5 receiving yards. Good luck with that. I wouldn't bet on that. Jay Sean Polk is not a real wide receiver. Not betting on that. Nope, and nope again. I wouldn't touch any of this shit. Yeah, so I'm on some unders here, but I do think Dorian Fleming, that 39.5 is really, I think that's really alive. The projection of Cam Fancher's passing yards has been moved since you selected it. Okay. Dude, they're watching me, bro. Which one of you MVPs is the guy, bro? They're watching me. Every sports book is watching me cook right now. They change shit when I click on it, bro. They annoy me. All right, let's go to rushing yards. Rushing yards, Zach Gibson. Yes, the last 2 games he's broken for a run for more than 10 yards. Like he had an 11-yard run last game and a 12-yard run the week before that, or vice versa. I know he went for 11 and 12 yards, but he still finishes with around 15 yards rushing, some low number. He's athletic, but he's not a running quarterback. And I wouldn't want you to bet on 15.5 yards and not get it. I'm going to tell you right now, when he was at Georgia Tech, never. He was not a guy that was going for 15 yards. And I know 15 yards doesn't sound like a lot. He is athletic. Would not bet on it because I think he's going to take some sacks. I do. And I don't know if he's getting there. Now, Freddie Brock, I would love to tell you he's going over 55. I would. If the coaching staff believed in him. But if you can get him at 39.5, I think you take it. Little Freddie, I think you take him at 39.5. It's a Green Goblin thing. Careful. Don't do too many legs on your stuff, but we can't go here. I want him to do more than 80 yards. The coaches don't use him like that. Darrell Robinson, 68.5. There are 3 running backs at UConn. You're going to be frustrated if you bet on this. I hope it hits, but you'll be frustrated. I promise you, you'll be sitting there waiting for a while. I'm not saying he's less. I'm just saying you're going to be waiting for a while. He won't play one series. He will play a series. He won't play. You get frustrated. And Nick Evers is not going to keep moving them chains on 3rd down. There's going to be a problem here. Cam Fancher. I think this is probably the best bet to make as long as he's healthy. Cam Fancher is a dual threat quarterback, running quarterback for FAU. He's the only semblance of offense they have, him and CJ Campbell. But Cam Fancher can just tuck it and go. And he's going to get about 10 design run plays. They do design quarterback draws, at least 10. So if you think he's getting 10, is he going to get 4.5 yards a carry? I think so. The dude's a little slippery. Now, there will be sacks. There will be bad plays and bad snaps. But Cam Fancher, 45 yards, is probably one of your best bets for the night, for sure. I like it. Okay. CJ Campbell, 47.5. Some games they use him like crazy. And some games they don't. Some games they go use Mobley. They kind of alternate these guys. You just got to guess which one they're going to use more. You have to guess. That's a bad bet to make when you're guessing. Yeah, but I do like the low number. 47. He and Joyner project kind of the same for me. Although he is playing a much better defense than Joyner is. But 47 just seems very doable for a guy in Campbell. If you don't know, CJ Campbell's the weapon that transferred from Florida State. So he's a good player, probably the best player on their team. They try to throw him the ball. They try to get him the ball any way they can. Running, you can do their thing. Mobley, they're these 2 dudes splitting carries. You're going to be frustrated if you bet on this shit. I got to give you your best plays. You're going to be frustrated. Then there's Kelly here. And yes, I see Ashton Jeanty, and you get him at a Green Goblin at 150. Guys, I'm not doing – I just don't think Ashton Jeanty's the guy to bet on. You can do it, but it's just juice like crazy. And you're going to be waiting quite a while. You need him to get to 200 yards. You're going to be waiting quite a while. Marquez Cooper, I think it's too high. But I wouldn't say take less. This is a good running back. I just like him at 60. And they're not even offering it. And I don't know. I mean, he could have a 100-yard game. But I don't know where I want to go with this. I wouldn't touch that game. Not for prop bets. You're better off over here somewhere. Yeah. It's going to be a tough one. I like Fancher a lot, though. I mean, I guess I like Fancher as much as you can like somebody. Rushing and receiving touchdowns. The options they give you for touchdowns are pretty tough. Guessing who at Georgia State is going to score a touchdown is a little intense. Freddie Brock has 2 touchdowns on the season. I don't think Dorian Fleming has many more than that. Thinking Nick Evers is going to run one in, probably a terrible bet to make. Skylar Bell, not going to score any touchdowns unless Nick Evers throws it to him. Same with TJ Sheffield. I don't like any of that. So far, among all these guys, Ted Hurst, 4 touchdowns on the season. Could probably get another one. He got one last week. Ted Hurst getting a touchdown looks like a viable bet. And then you've got a Green Goblin at 3 touchdowns. Can't do it. There's no value in that. I don't like it. Can't do it. Don't like it. I don't even like Marquez Cooper at 1 touchdown. He's a little guy. He's not moving the pile. If they're close to the goal line, they're going to get creative and do other things. I don't necessarily know if they just hand it off to Coop and let him go do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not there. Not there. So I don't like any of the touchdown scorers. Passing touchdowns. Yeah, right. Nick Evers throwing 2 touchdowns. My ass. I don't see that. Zach Gibson could throw 2 touchdowns, but that's a bet you can only make by yourself. Not doing a San Diego State touchdown. Maddox for 2. They could run it in with Genty all day. I don't know. I don't like any of the touchdowns. Passing wise, field goals we won't even try to bet on. Receptions, nothing for tonight. Rushing and receiving yards, Genty at 203. It's essentially rushing yards. He doesn't get a lot of receiving yards. Marquez Cooper 90. Very doable, but we'll leave it alone. Interceptions, not betting on it. I don't think Nick Evers is gonna even throw the ball. If he does, it will get picked off. Zach Gibson, we're there. Danny O'Neal, I don't like guessing when the receivers or quarterbacks are going to throw an interception. Rush or passing and rushing yards. Like I told you, Zach Gibson is probably going to rush for 15 yards max. That means they got him here at 190 passing. I don't know. I'm not going there. Cam Fancher, think he's going to rush for 45 yards? A little more maybe, and then throw for 200. Not going there. So actually, they just took him off. Has been removed. Rushing yards has been removed since you selected it. It didn't get changed. It got removed. Are you shitting me, sports books? What is wrong with you guys? Who is it, bro? They just removed it mid-video. Vegas, you nasty sons of bees, bro. You nasty sons of bees. Oh, this whole video is trash. We can't do this. Well, it's ridiculous. The play was Fancher, bro. And they just took it off. And now you got to pick people from different teams. Oh, wow. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. Prize Picks is shot for the night. Do your best. Careful. Tread lightly. I wouldn't go heavy on anything. It doesn't look that great. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Wow, they just took that shit off right now. They just removed Cam Fancher rushing yards.